Hi there.
Hello everyone, welcome to another Flying Frog video. Today it's the battle of the Opticas. So we're going to compare the Orbix EA7 Edgley Optica against the Got Friends of the same name, the EA7 Edgley Optica. This one here in front of us is the Orbix one, which is available at the marketplace. At least I think I paid $14.95 quite a while ago now. I've had this one for quite a while, so excuse me if my pricing's wrong. So that's approximately $9-10 American dollars and probably around about €9 I suppose. So what we'll do is we'll get in, we have a quick look at the outside, at the differences between the two, because the Got Friends is twice the price of this one, but we'll have a look at the difference between the two and we can make up our minds from there. So what we'll do is we'll just get in here and just have a look at the quality of the detailing. Again, not too bad. So the colour's good, it's all clean as such now, and generally I like to get underneath and have a look at the modelling underneath as well, just to give us attention to detail as such by the developer. Let's see, that's not too bad at all, and yeah, the rivets look flush, which is good. So yeah, on the whole, not too bad. So we'll hop inside to the cockpit now. You can open up this door, this one here. It is a bit fiddly to open up the other side door, but I do believe it is possible. So we'll have a look in here while we're standing here. Now, I'm not sure about the purple carpet, but you know, you get what you get. The seating looks fine, and as you can see at the back, now both of these models are going to look almost identical, but there is slight differences between the two, and obviously it'll be in the sound of the engine and the flight characteristics, I suppose, as well. So we'll hop in and we'll get it started. Okay, here we are inside. Now, I'm going to try and make this as quick as possible because it's I'm going to be comparing two planes at the same time. So basically is your instruments are all going to be identical, and the way to start this will be identical. So anyway, with this one here, we can close the door by just doing that. Which is very nice. Nice clunk as the door sounds. Now we'll just take a look inside. A few of the rivets. Sorry for that noise, but it's just a heater alarm. So, okay. Right. So, we'll get us started. Now you can only select left and right tank with this one. Go away. Right, I'll do the mixtures while I'm at it. And there's a key up here somewhere. There it is. Right. Fuel valve open, fuel valve open. Now she'll start. Oh, there you go. See, I didn't even put the fuel pump on. You know, maybe it shouldn't start, who knows. Anyway, we'll get the lights on. The panel lights. Now, I generally don't show you guys what it'll look like at night. To be honest with you, it's going to be fairly simple. So, yeah. Rightio. So what we'll do is we'll get going. I'll do my usual type of thing where, you know, I'll hop outside while the plane's flying, that type of thing. We're only going to do a quick takeoff, turn around and come back again, and then I'll load up and jump into the Got Friends Edgily as well. So she gets moving fairly easily off the mark, which is good. Now I just want to adjust my view a little bit. Here we go. Nice clunking and thunking and going on. Oh, God. Airport traffic just seems to be getting worse. But these Edgley Opticas are very good for sightseeing. So currently we're in Sion in Switzerland, and Switzerland is a good place for these aircraft to sightsee. They've got the dome of a helicopter, but obviously the wings of an aircraft, so they're kind of a blend between both elements of aircraft. Now the Edgley Optica was developed for reconnaissance, loitering, so like traffic reports, police observation, things like that. It does have an 8-hour operational endurance, so in the air. She's not fast at any stretch of the imagination. 100, 110, maybe 120 knots if you're lucky. Now with this particular version you don't get autopilot, so it does tend, it's very hands-on, so you know, if you're doing long flights you've just got to trim it and get it right. Now it is advisable to have a passenger to balance out the aircraft, because what it will tend to do is it'll tend to drift to the left over a period of time. So yeah, that's one thing you learn with this one. Now they do have flaps, and as you can tell the brakes do work very well. So I won't even worry about lining up, I'll just gun it and get into the air. So I don't know what the hell that was, but there you go. Look at this, driving on the runway. Really? Come on Microsoft, get this better. Okay, just trimming it nicely. As you saw, she took off very easily and very gently. As you can see, she wants to kick off to the left, and I'm putting a fair amount of right aileron. Now you can also hear that drumming. Through my speakers I get this drumming. I've got a small subwoofer, and that's one thing I've noticed with this one. When you lower the revs, it drums, and it does tend to get a little annoying, I will admit. Now it's not so bad now. I've altered the thing and the throttle, but now we're getting that drift to the left because I didn't put a passenger into the aircraft. But anyway, let's have a look around. As you can see, we get plenty of view, lots of view. So really good for viewing, good for sightseeing and things like that. So what we'll do now is I'll head back, land, and I'll get into the other Edgley Optica, which is done by God Friends, and I won't worry about showing you guys the landing of this one, because I'll do that with the Got Friends, because both the flight characteristics on both are very similar. So I'll see you again when we've got the Got Friends. Welcome back to Scion. Here we have the Got Friends Edgley Optica, the EA7 Optica. Now what we'll do is we'll just have a quick look around. Now I kept it the same colour, to be fair. The liveries between the two different makers are very similar, and it'll be up to you on how you guys want to go with your liveries. I think that this one's been made just a little bit dirtier, just to give it that little bit more realism. So we'll get in there and have a look around. Now I can definitely see that there's a lot more rivet detail in this one, as we can see. So again, this one here is $29.95 on the marketplace, Australian, which I would say is around about $20 odd American and about €18 off the top of my head. So again, so the detail there has gone into obviously the price difference. So what we'll do is I'll get down and just have a look underneath. Now you can see slight differences there. This is a bit dirtier, you know, but still well modelled, well done. Up underneath, again, looks a bit dirtier, so a bit more weathering, so on. So yep, again, you know, this is where the detail comes into it. Sometimes though it does look like these rivets look like they're countersunk, so it doesn't seem to be working too well. However, so yeah, again you can just see it's just that bit of a dirtier yellow to it. Now there's Kilo in the front there, and the cat on the seat is Matto, which I'll talk about those a little bit more when we get inside. But this is a ducted fan with I think it's a single cylinder engine, and it's supposed to be one of the quietest aircraft besides a glider, of course. So yep, so we'll get into the cockpit, have a look, take her up for a fly, and go for it. Okay, here we are in the cockpit, and as you can see, she looks very similar to the Orbix one, which it would be understandable since they're the same planes. And there's Matto on the seat. Now these guys, they do move, and you can change whether you want them in your aircraft or not by rotating the switch. So we can have just the dog sitting up, dog laying down, just the cat, dog and cat, or none at all. Okay, so that's entirely up to you on how you want to do that, but you just rotate the knob there, and you can see that see the dog sitting up there, so that's fine. So again, what they do by having them there, even though it's very cute, is they do balance out the aircraft. So they put approximately 77 kilos on that side, which will help reduce the wanting to turn to the left. However, we do have an autopilot, which means for those sightseeing tours, you just lay in a decent flight plan, or a flight plan, doesn't matter if it's decent or not, and you can follow it, and then you can just relax, chill, and have a look outside these beautiful big windows. So what we'll do is we'll get the doors closed, so there's handles just here, which is a little bit easier than on the Orbix one. And when you hop into start up this plane, the doors are open. So okay, now as you can see, the fuel switch here is modeled a little bit different, so we can select both tanks. Now we don't have any levers here. Fuel shut off. Okay, we can turn that one on. I didn't see that one there. I think it's only one. The other one had two. Well, there we go. So again, same type of layout here. So battery, fuel pump. We don't need pitot heat. Nav lights, strobe. Won't worry about that one. Taxi lights. Okay, now we've got the magnetos up here. Now we can continue on and start it from here, or we've got the start button on the dash. So I'll just start it from here. Don't know if it started. Oh well. Okay, what have I forgotten? Fuel, power, mixtures. Are we definitely on? Magnetos to both. Oh, did I turn that off? There you go. I turned it off. I'm a dope. I am a dope. So you go. See, you go from one to the other. Beautiful. Okay. As you can hear, very, very similar. But the texturing inside, before we go any further. There we go. Tartan seats, blue carpet. Similar, but a little bit better. Just the texture's just a little bit better, as you can see the inside. And I think too, the cockpit area doesn't look as cramped. As you can see, she's modelled differently at the back here. But it just seems to be that the Orbix one tends to be, feels like it's trying to come narrow here in the front, and you just seem to have just that little bit of extra space. and we've got the windows that open up here, which is pretty cool, and it's the same on both sides as you've got a larger one over there. So what we'll do is we'll get going, we'll get taxiing off, and we shall do a quick flight. But again, most of it's going to be very, very similar. Again, both aircraft get moving off the from the standing start fairly easy, and do tend to want to run away a little bit, so you just have to watch your speed. That's of course if you're trying to be realistic for an airport, but I won't bother about trundling up to the end of the runway. When we turn on, I'll have plenty of room to take off on this strip here. So again, I don't know with all these vehicles running around how damn realistic this is. Probably is, but wow, none of them really tend to. Again, we got some sounds, really nice. Not as prominent, I think, as on the Orbix one, but they're there. The cabin area is quieter, I feel, than the Orbix one, but I'm splitting hairs on that. Okay, and I'll just run her up and get going before Maddo starts getting upset. And Maddo's the cat, if you remember. Look at that, running across the runway. Really? Again, this one took a little bit more effort to get up into the air, but not too bad. Let's get some trimming happening. Again, I didn't use any flaps on that at all. Generally, I think if your runway's long enough, you don't need to. I do feel this one tends to want to climb maybe a little bit more. It's a bit hard to tell, but yeah. And as you can see, well, you can't see, but my hands are off, and she's not tending to want to roll to the left like the Orbix one does. And I did find that a lot, and I have flown that one, the Orbix one. I've flown it actually around Tasmania, and I found that it just wanted to keep flying to the left, and that's where you do have to, when you first start it up, is put in your pillion pilot, or your companion pilot. Most of you guys will be familiar with this type of autopilot, so I don't think I need to explain that one with you. It's very simple, easy to use, so very good. Now what we'll do is we'll just open up the window here. Again, beautiful sound, really sounds like wind's rushing through there. I can feel the cooling breeze now. Sorry for that alarm. It's my fish tank just telling me that the tank is getting a little bit hot. It's quite warm here at the moment, very humid. We've had a cyclone come through. Okay, well, we'll just close that. We'll get the idea. Right, as we can see, look at that, beautiful views. Honestly, really, really nice. And as you can see, Switzerland is a beautiful place. Switzerland, Austria, really, really nice place to come around and have a fly. So all in all, this one is, like I've said before, is $29.95 on the marketplace. It's entirely up to you guys on which one you go for. For me, having the autopilot, particularly when touring, is a big plus, and that is one of the reasons why I bought this aircraft, is because got friends had brought it out with the autopilot. So which has made a huge difference, I reckon, to this, well, will make a huge difference to this whole plane. So what I'll do is I'll head back once I get myself orientated a little bit. Bit of porpoising there going on. Well, there we go. There it is there, look. It's not too far. So again, look, as I said, it's entirely up to you guys on which plane you go for. Both are very good. Both have both have got their same points. There's only differences. I think that the textures are done better on this one. I'm definitely way too high. So yeah, and look, what we'll do is I'll get down on the ground and we'll land this one, and then I can talk about it. But she does land fairly easily. I'm just going to put her in pretty quick. See what happens. See if I can pull her up. Which is probably not going to happen. I'm going to probably overrun. Because she does glide. She's a big glider. Yeah, we're going to overrun, so. Alright, what I'll do, and plus there's a car on the runway. Again, what is it with this airport? Okay, I'll do a go around and then I'll come back to you guys when I'm lined up and ready to touch down. Here we go. We should be fine this time. Hopefully there's no cars on the runway. Maybe. So she does have flaps. I don't know if I mentioned it. Both aircraft have flaps. But you don't necessarily have to use them. She does get quite floaty. As you can see, she's fairly gentle to bring in. Come on, touchdown. There we go. Okay. I'll see you over at the usual parking spot for the final thoughts. The Got Friends Edgley Optica EA7. What's my preference? For me, this particular one is the one that I would buy if this was available at the time over the two. Mainly it's because of the autopilot. The quality of the detailing is better. Flight characteristics between the two are basically the same. The cat and dog, it's a nice thing, but not necessarily. It's not a big selling point. Kind of a little on the cheesy side. Cute, yes. But I will say there is a slight graphical error with the glass, which I'm sure will be fixed. in a update on this one, but it's only slight, and I would not use that as an excuse not to buy this aircraft. The Orbix one is half the price, and this got friends doesn't fly twice as better. Is it twice as good? No, I don't think so. It's just better, but it's not twice as better. So it's up to you guys on whether or not you want to spend that little bit extra. It depends on how much the autopilot is to you, and what you want to do with this aircraft. Me, I like using it for this type of countryside where you can just cruise around and have a look at the scenery. It is great for those people who want to circumnavigate islands, or go into the Rockies, go into Alaska, and do the same. And you can use the autopilot to just to take that stress away, or the ease, make it ease of flying, so you can cover longer distances without having to hand fly all the time. But both are very good. So on that note, hopefully I've been helpful. Please like, comment and subscribe, and stay safe.